Good night, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome into my session tonight. We're going to have a beautiful discussion. How are you guys doing? I haven't done a live in 2 weeks. Yeah. Life has been lifing. Sort of. Good things are happening. So how are you guys doing tonight? Welcome in. Welcome in. I have notes all over the place, y'all, so bear with me. But, and this is going to be really nice. It's going to be very short. It's going to be sweet, but it's going to give you a lot of things to think of. So welcome in, come in, have a seat, bring your entire self into this live tonight. Welcome in. So yeah. And I'm just welcoming some people. So welcome in, everyone. My name is Petra. Before we start, one thing, I want us to settle ourselves. So, before we start, let's take a collective breath together. Okay, gonna inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth. And that's to settle us. That's to unhinge, have a drink. Hi, everyone. Hi. I don't want to mess up your name, so I'm going to say K. Yes, so welcome in. And please join in. Please, let's make this live flow. Let's have a beautiful conversation. Yeah. And if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Petra. I am a self-trust guide, and I guide women back to themselves. And we could talk a little bit later about all of that good stuff, right? But tonight we are talking about choosing yourself, not as in a massive, dramatic leap of things, not about blowing up your life or making grand announcements or talking about choosing yourself through, big things. We are talking about choosing yourself through everyday, small processes. Something that I call microclaim. So I'm talking about those quiet moments when you decide I'm here and I matter. I'm talking about when you make a decision to really do something for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. So I wanted to have a nice face-to-face conversation in regards to this topic. And yeah, so how are you guys doing? It's Tuesday. The weekend is gone and we're here now. And that's what we're going to talk about, choosing yourself. Because so many times we don't. Right? So many times we don't. And if anyone have any questions, please write it in the comments. And if I cannot answer it here tonight, then I will definitely answer it in your DMs or any other places that you so choose. Okay. So, and I'm looking back a couple different places because I have notes. All right. So, when you hear, I have a question. When you hear choose yourself, what comes to mind? What comes to mind when you hear choose ourselves? And most often our mind jump to big things. We jump to, do we have to do big speeches to tell people about what's going on? Or do we have to do an overhaul of our lives? Do we have to set 10 boundaries? Do we blow up our lives? Or how do we create spaces for us to breathe? And a lot of times when we hear choose ourselves, we think of big things and many different ways on how to do it, and we get overwhelmed. And then when we get overwhelmed, you know what happens? We don't do it. Because now it seems like it's going to be too much. It's going to take too much time. It's going to make us feel, some type of guilt. So the majority of the times when we have to start choosing ourselves after we have been people pleasing for a very long time, we tend to not do it because it becomes too much. Okay? It becomes too much. So, and when it becomes overwhelming, here's what we do. We go back to that autopilot, that quick, let me just go back to what I used to be doing. Because this is going to take too much. You go back to the autopilot, saying yes to 50 million things when you know you don't want to. Giving up your little tiny sacrifices to people, places, and things. Please let me know if this makes any sense to you guys, okay? And I call it, when we are doing things unconsciously, giving ourselves to other people, I call it micro sacrifices, because you're trading pieces of yourself for your peace. You're giving things away. You're giving things away so you can have certain type of peace, but it's really peace. You give your energy. You give your comfort. You give your preference. You give all of those things away to make life easier for somebody. I know I have been in that place, and a lot of times before we even give, we don't ask ourselves, what are we actually doing? Are we actually doing something that's beneficial for us in this time? But we are so accustomed to just saying yes to everything, we forget all about it. We forget all about it. We just forget our own needs. We bypass our own needs and then we go to somebody else. We will say things like, yes, I can do it. I'm fine. You change your pace. You change your needs so somebody else can feel comfortable while you are just there. Okay? You are just there. And you're just there because your micro needs, you have been carrying it for so long. You have been carrying other people's stuff for so long, it feels normal. But after doing all of those little small things for so long, those things add up. Those moments add up. Those things add up. And when those things add up, you tend to get to a certain point in your life where you will sit down at some point in time in the night, tired, exhausted, frustrated, and then you're like, what's really happening in my life? You tend to only notice when our energy is really low. Yeah. We get tired and we get exhausted, and then we are mad at ourselves, but we are still not willing to change and choose us. I know I have been there, busy handling everybody else's stuff. And then I'm like, why am I tired? I'm tired because I did not replenish me. I replenished them. Okay? And you get tired you get tired because of the accumulation of all the small, tiny sacrifices you have made. Because you just keep making them without thinking about yourself. Does this make any sense to anyone in there tonight? Micro sacrifices don't feel heavy. And the reason why it don't feel heavy is because you have been doing it for so long. You have been doing it for so long that it's, like I said before, it feels normal. And what pays? Your health starts to deteriorate. You cannot sleep at night. You're waking up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning thinking about all the things you have to do for everybody else, and still not realizing that all those things that you did not choose to do to keep yourself together, someone else is benefiting while you cannot sleep at night. There's so many things that's running through your head. However, there's also a thing called a micro choice. Micro choices are opposite of micro sacrifices. Micro choice is a small, quiet decision to reclaim some of your energy. And what it's saying is this: I don't have to leave myself out of a decision. I get to include myself in anything and everything. I get to take time for myself. I get to take 5 minutes in the morning to have peace with myself before I do anything else. I get time to, this is a key one. A lot of times we're in the middle of a meal and the phone is ringing, and then we're going to stop eating to pick up the phone. You get to put that on pause, finish your meal, and go back to yourself. Eat and answer the call later, especially if it's not urgent. Because if it's something urgent, they're going to text you and say like, hey, I'm calling you. This is what's happening. But we are so accustomed to being at everybody's beck and call. We put ourselves undone. And that has to stop. I had to stop it because it took so much from me. So much that it's like, come on. When am I going to take myself serious enough that people will know that before they come to me, they're going to think about me? Micro choices. And micro choices do not happen instantly. It happens over time. Because we have to take time to make those things. Micro choices help you strengthen your relationship with yourself and help you start trusting yourself again. Help you start trusting your choices. Because when you have been in the place where you have given yourself to everybody without thinking about yourself, when you start to choose yourself, it can be challenging. Okay. So I want you to sit with this question. What is one small choice you have been denying yourself lately? Some people deny it because it feels like it's too small of a choice to make. Some people might think it's unnecessary. Some people might actually think it's selfish, that I'm trying to make this choice for myself. So sit with that one. What is one small choice that you are denying yourself? Absolutely. Especially need to nurture. Yes, Kay. We need to start nurturing ourselves. And you know what? I tell you from experience, that was very challenging for me because I wanted to make sure everybody was okay while I was still trying to be okay for myself. And that can't work. Something has to give. You have to give something up in order for you to really sit and work with yourself. So one small thing. What is one small thing you keep talking yourself out of? And if you're here with me right now, drop a heart in the comment to tell me what is the one small thing. We could probably talk about it. And if you're watching the replay, I want you to listen to what's happening. You don't have to do anything. I just want you to listen to the question and come back to the question later on about what is that one small thing. And self-trust starts with the small thing. It don't start with the big thing. Okay? So take that question and really work it. Really work it. Like, what small thing yes, rest. And that's so important. Rest. We deserve to have it. Taking naps. I remember in 2020, with all the chaos that was happening, I decided to, I was working from home, and I decided to, Petra, when you get off, relax, take a 20 to 30 minute nap, and see how that's going to feel. So I would set my alarm clock, get off, calm myself down, because a lot of times when you finish working, your mind is still racing, everything is happening. So you have to calm yourself down, set your alarm clock, put it for 20, 30 minutes, and take a nap. And I'm telling you, that is the best decision I ever made in my life during that period of time was to take rest for myself. So how about taking time, like when you come from work, give yourself 10, 20 minutes before you make dinner, or choose something you want to eat for once. Being a mother and being a single parent, every kid wants to eat something different. So you don't want to cook different meals. So here you are eating things that you really don't want to eat. It sounds really simple, but these are like everyday decisions that we bypass, that we think is not important. But it truly is, right? So, think of moments like you said, rest. I'm going to take 20 minutes after I finish work and power down. You really don't even have to sleep. A lot of times you just have to lay your body down and just exhale. That's it. Okay? So making micro decisions. So, and here's what I want you to listen for. In making these decisions, when we start making these decisions, we sometimes have different reactions, especially if you have always been the one to everybody come to, and everybody coming to say, yes, 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 help me with this, help me with that. And you're saying, yes, I can, yes, I can, yes, I can, yes, I can. When you start making choices for yourself, it will feel like something is wrong. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel different. And you're going to doubt yourself. And basically, when you start making your decisions for yourself, you're going to start interrupting old patterns. Because they come up. Because you're practicing now to focus on yourself and not other people. It's going to come up. But you don't have to earn choosing yourself. Choosing yourself is your right. You get to take up space. You get to show up, and you get to belong to yourself, because you already belong to yourself. You don't need anyone to tell you to choose yourself. You already have that. You just have to learn to redirect and practice. Practice saying yes to yourself, because you will feel guilty. You will feel like something is wrong. You will feel like you're disappointing someone. You will feel like, is someone going to hate me because I made this choice for myself? It happens. But so what? So what? So what? You decided to do something for yourself. You're going to be all right. Let the people who have been dumping their responsibility on you, let them handle their own business. You also get, you can also feel guilty. Yeah. Because sometimes when you decide to hold yourself accountable for yourself, people will get pissed off at you. You will have no support. People will be like, you know what? If that's what she want to do, that's her business. And the truth is, it is your business. You can only love and support you in the best way that you can. And the thing is this, from experience, when you start choosing you start creating boundaries that's healthy. And guess what? Those same people who always say, oh, she's not here for me anymore, is either they're going to fade away, or they're going to start appreciating you much differently and support you differently. Because that's what happens. When you prioritize you, other people have no other choice but to follow. They either follow or they fall off. And I guarantee you, the ones that fall off was only there because you made yourself available for them. They didn't make themselves available for you. You were the one who was always showing up. Okay? So let's start there. Choose you. So one practice from this entire conversation, I want you to choose one thing One practice. It don't have to be a lot of things. It don't have to be a lot of time. 10 minutes in the morning so I can journal, have me a cup of tea, have some me time, or when I go to work, I take 10 minutes to regroup myself during my lunchtime or during my breaks, or just claim something you want or you have a desire to do for yourself. And like I said again, it don't have to be big. It can be very small. Okay? Because you now are learning to say yes to yourself. One small choice. And pay attention. When you make this choice, I want you to pay attention to what comes up. Guilt will show up. You're going to feel like you need to explain something, or you have to explain your choice to someone. Show them how to love you by, yes. Show them how to love you by loving yourself first. Yes. Yes. When you make this decision, notice if guilt shows up. Notice if you want to explain to people why, I'm doing this because, or you start thinking of who is going to be neglected if you decide to choose yourself. That's okay. Those things will come up. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to do anything about it. Just notice what it is. You don't have to react to it, because this is where the work begins. The work begins when you start noticing what is coming up. And then when it comes up, you ask, why? Why am I feeling guilty for taking care of myself? Why do I feel that I need to explain everything to everybody about me? Because nobody is doing this. Nobody's making this. No one is making a decision and coming and telling you and explaining it to you. They're just making a decision that's beneficial for them. And you have the right to do that too. You have a right to take your peace and hone into your peace and have fun with your peace like everybody else. Okay? So I hope I'm making sense tonight with this conversation. I really do, because it seems like a simple conversation, but we don't do it. We don't, especially women. A lot of times women will just leave themselves undone for years. And if you're sitting with me here tonight, recognizing that this is more than just a habit, or that you need to rebuild your entire pattern around yourself, around accommodating or overriding yourself, or struggling with trust of you, I have clarity sessions this month that's open, that we can get together, take a look and see what is beneath the situations, what are the patterns, why is things not aligning for you? What do you need for yourself? How do you need to speak up for yourself? Let's clarify what's really going on in the background. Okay? So if you have any questions, you can DM me clarity, or just DM me, and let's have a great conversation, because we tend to choose ourselves as women late in life, very late, when we retire or when something drastic happens in our life. And why should you want to wait until something drastic happened in your life for you to change? Don't wait. Don't wait at all. So, you get to choose who you want to be. You get to choose how you desire to show up. You get to choose your purpose. And most importantly, you get to choose you just as you are. Sometimes you just need a reminder that these things are always available to us. So, yeah, it's always available to you. You get to love you and choose you every single day. You get to get up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I love you. Petra, I love you. And today's a good day. And I choose you. And that's how you can start. You really have to, you can start by saying things to yourself, showing yourself love, giving yourself love, giving yourself space. You get to have those things in your life. So this is my little TT for today. Choosing yourself in small real estate of your day. Just keep loving yourself the way that, and show up for yourself the way that you need to show up. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's gonna be scary, but it's okay. It's okay. So thank you for being here with me tonight. Thank you for this beautiful space that we are creating. If you have any questions, I also have a chat, an IG chat. It's called The Soft Landing. If you ever want to go into there, I'm planning to do a whole lot more. I love reading. I know I put a book in there from last week. I'm thinking of having a discussion for people who want to read the book and do all that good stuff. So yeah, so many great things are happening, and I appreciate the support. And for anybody that's listens to the replay, if you have any questions, please let me know. I will get back to you. So yeah, any questions, like I said, any questions tonight, thank you for the love and thank you for showing up, and I appreciate you guys. Have a beautiful night.